Hey everybody, we are in Vancouver today. I'm here with Chris Bruntlett. He and his wife Melissa are the authors of this great new book, Building the Cycling City, the Dutch Blueprint for Urban Vitality. And today he's going to take me around Vancouver a bit and show me some of the spots in the city that have been inspired by this sort of Dutch approach to building a bike-friendly city. Thanks for joining us today.
No, thanks for having me, Tom.
So maybe you could just tell me first, Vancouver has come a long way in the last 10 years when it comes to bike infrastructure.
Yeah.
How does that relate to your book? Was that an inspiration for your book? Was the city you live in part of what motivated you?
Yeah, well, the book is broken down into 10 lessons, 10 themes, takeaways from the Dutch experience, but also finding examples of North American cities that are implementing those ideas. And the theme around the chapter that mentions Vancouver is political bravery. And to us, you know, it's the story of a mayor that was elected on a pro-bike platform. He came in and started implementing changes, fully separated bike lanes in the city, to you know, the ire of a lot of people in the business community, in the political community, in the media. There was a lot of noise made, a lot of predictions that this would be the beginning and end of his political career. But to his credit, you know, he stuck to his guns. Him and his councillors. They expanded the bike network. They've been, you know, glowingly re-elected on 2 more occasions, and here we are 10 years later with a rather robust bike network that spreads from one side of the city to the other.
All right, we're going to go check out a few more spots around Vancouver, and we'll let Chris step out of the bike lane now. Thank you.
The Burrard Bridge was the first project that Mayor Robertson built shortly after being re-elected, and it was in response to critical mass rides that were protesting the lack of safe bike infrastructure and the number of injuries and fatalities that were taking place on the bridge. There was no safe crossing from the west end of Vancouver into the downtown peninsula. But if you know, he thought it was going to be easy addressing those safety concerns, he quickly found out that everyone was going to lose their minds, and the media had a heyday. They sent helicopters in the sky to document the impending traffic Armageddon, but none of it materialized, and you know, here we are 10 years later. This bridge is the most popular bike route in the city, with 1 million crossings per year.
So where are we?
We are currently riding on the Hornby Street cycle track, which was basically one of the first projects that was installed by City Council and Mayor Robertson. So it's a bi-directional cycle track on a one-way street. Again, with the early bike infrastructure projects, there was a lot of vocal opposition. The business community in particular, the Downtown Vancouver Business Improvement Association, vehemently opposed the project. But we're pleased to report that you know, a decade later, it's seeing record numbers, and the business community has actually learned to embrace it and have done a complete public 180 on the cycling infrastructure, and now started supporting new projects.
Where are we now?
We are on the Dunsmuir cycle track, which was built again in the very early days of Gregory Robertson's tenure. Probably, you know, one of the most popular east-west connectors into the downtown. You know, I think this bike lane proves that if you take a context-specific approach, and that's definitely what the Dutch subscribe to, you can find solutions that work for your city, and that's kind of the underlying message of the book. Is the Dutch really, in a lot of places, built into the dream of car-centric development, and they changed their land use zoning codes and built the wide streets and demolished a lot of parts of their cities to make way for the car. And later, you know, in the 70s and 80s, realized how it was a destructive pattern of development, and started reversing those patterns and building for bikes.
Okay, I don't know if this will work or not, but I want Chris to show some of the practical bits on this bike, because this is about as Dutch as you can get for a bike in North America, right?
Yeah. So it comes down to 2 things. It comes down to comfort, and it comes down to the completeness of the bicycle. So they ride very utilitarian machines that are designed to be used in an upright riding position, so you have very straight back. It's like you're sitting on a stool, and they're not designed for speed or sport. They're designed for transport.
So, what have you got at the back here?
Well, so there's a fully integrated back rack, which is literally built into the bike frame, so there's no weight limit. So we're able to throw a 100-pound child, or even a 200-pound adult, on the back of the bike for short trips if the need be, or any kind of large items that you want to carry with bungee cords and the like.
And you've got, and this is important too, we never see these on North American bikes very often.
Yeah,
chain guard.
Fully enclosed chain casing, which means that the chain kind of remains in immaculate condition through rain and sludge and snow. And it also means you don't have to worry about your pant leg getting chewed up by the chain.
And one last thing is you have the world's most popular front rack, which is the milk crate. Which I remember seeing that in Europe a lot too. It's a practical thing.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a kind of a $10 job from Home Depot that mounts to the front rack of the bicycle, and it fits a couple bags of groceries or my laptop or whatever I happen to be rolling around with that day. We have a great public transit system here, and do walk and car share from time to time. But we've been living without our family's been living without a car for 8 years now. There's hope, yeah. I mean, the Dutch maybe have a 50-year head start on us, but not only can we do it, but we are doing it here in North America.
There we have it, some great examples of Dutch-inspired bike infrastructure here in a great bike city, Vancouver. Thanks very much, Chris.
Oh, thanks.
Make sure to go out and buy his book. See you next time.
Thanks.